Hello, everybody. We are almost at the end of the semester. I cannot believe it. But today we're going to be talking about preparing for your final exam in this class. I know that during midterms, you guys submitted questions to put on the exam. Unfortunately, we did not have enough time to do that for this final exam. We do have a bit of a strict schedule to keep because of the time in which we need to turn in grades. And also, I wanted to give you guys plenty of time to take said exam. Like I mentioned in class, the exam will be available online, and I'm hoping to have it uploaded um, pretty much our last day of class. That way, you guys have plenty of time to kind of work around other exams and other things going on in your schedules. I will go ahead and show you guys where to find the exam study guide. Before I go to that, though, I did want to mention that the exams, since they are being given online, just to make sure everything is on the up and up, I will be using this CopyLeaks teacher scanning tool. This will be something where I can upload your essay exam answer and your discussion answers just to make sure that they are not AI generated. As you're preparing for the exam and doing the study guide, if you need to use Google or anything else that might have some common phrasing to do your discussion questions or to look some stuff back up that you might have forgotten, that is okay. You can complete your study guide however you want to, but I do ask that you use your own original language to interpret and analyze and answer these questions. That way, nothing pops up as AI generated. Also, for your essay, I'll go ahead to the study guide so I can explain more about the essay anyways. Um, you can find the study guide here under week 15, the Tempest and exam prep. Here is the final exam study guide folder. The video you are watching will be here anyways, but underneath that will be the World Lit 1 study guide final exam. It is just a document. It's not an assignment that you have to turn in. This is just for you to complete on your own to prepare for the test. I'm not going to read all of these instructions out for you, but please be very diligent in going back and reading all of this. This just mentions that the types that you're preparing for, most of the content for this exam is just going to be stuff that we covered the second half of the semester. So you are not going to have any multiple choice, short answer, fill in the blank identification questions from the first half. You're just going to have it from the stuff that we covered the second half of the semester. So that is where we started off with Geoffrey Chaucer and ended with William Shakespeare. However, on the essay question, you can use any text from the semester. So whenever you get to the essay portion and let's say Gilgamesh really stuck with you, or you did your paper on stuff from the Old Testament, and so that's fresh in your mind, and you've got a lot of details from that, you are welcome to use those for the essay question. Half of the essay is, or sorry, half of the exam is going to be an essay question. You need to answer it in 3 to 5 paragraphs, so it doesn't have to be super long like a normal 5 paragraph essay. You can do it in three, but you do need to include specific details from the text. You do not have to use quotations because you're not going to be able to look up the work while you're answering this. You are just answering this um, on your own. So outside quotations are not needed. Let's say you did your paper on Oedipus and you just really have a line that sticks with you that you think would be great for the essay question, you are welcome to do that to use that. You're just not going to be able to cite it or anything because this is supposed to be done in real time. Um, but this essay question will need to have, like I said, specific examples from the text. You do need to know main characters, authors, titles. So make sure you have all that information down packed. My suggestion would be to pick 3 texts that you really um, know very well from the semester and concentrate on those. Look back over the authors if they have one, look back up main character names. Just so you have a good grasp on at least three texts would be my advice for doing the best on this essay question. Um, this is the rubric, so this is how I will be scoring your essay for that question. As you can see, it adds up to 50 points. So please keep that in mind. Expression grammar is only worth 3 points. So if you're misspelling stuff or your grammar is not great, that is fine. This is not something that you should run through a grammar checker or anything. I think I've talked about this in class. Tools such as Grammarly can be fantastic, but because they use common phrasing to fix your mistakes, that comes up as AI generated whenever it is run through an AI checker. So please keep that in mind. The other half of the test is going to have to do very similar to our midterm. We're going to have a couple of discussion questions, some identifying questions, and then also I will do, where did I put that note? I don't think I included that note. But your exam is going to include a few multiple choice questions that have to do with some of the things that we talked about having to do with context. So anytime I did a PowerPoint in class, anytime I showed you guys a video on an author, those are things that you should look back on to prepare for the multiple choice questions. For the identifying and discussion questions, I will pull from these 10 questions here. I'm not going to use all of these, but you should complete all of these in order to study. So I will pick from these in order to complete the test. So we have, like I said, some discussion questions here, such as discuss the role of the griot in Western African society. That's something that you did when we were studying the Sunjata. So you should already have an answer for that you can use. And you already have knowledge about that, down to identifying quotes from different texts or something such as discuss the wife of Bath's view on marriage. These are hopefully going to cover pretty much everything we went over the second half of the semester, and you can use this to prepare for the final exam. While the final exam is going to be on Blackboard, if you need a structured environment to study, not to study, so sorry, if you need a structured environment in order to take the test, I will physically be in the classroom on the day and time of the exam. So if you need somebody else there, or if you're afraid that um, internet's not going to work and you want to have me there so I can see that, I will be there. Pertaining to the internet, I advise picking somewhere in a time where you know the internet is solid. If your dorm room does not have solid internet, if, we know that we have had a lot of internet issues over in the building we are in this semester, maybe that's not the best place for you to take your final exam. So I would pick a place that you know it is reliable, whether that be the library, a coffee shop, your friend's apartment complex. Find somewhere with good internet. The McDonald's parking lot. Excuse me. I had a classmate in grad school that, because of internet outages in her area, had to go do her assignments in the McDonald's parking lot um, during COVID because campus was closed. Um, so just make sure you have a reliable place to take this test. If for some reason you are having computer troubles, please email me just so we kind of know how to work our way around that. There are different computers and places to work on campus, and I've got a couple of laptops too that you could potentially come to my office and take your exam. All right, if you guys have any questions or concerns, or if you need clarification on these study exam questions, you can email me, but I will also be there on Monday to, if you have any questions about the study guide or anything that you want me to look over. I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. If I do not see you next week. I know we've got some sports events and band events, choir events all going on, even with finals going on. I very much enjoyed having every single one of you in my class and learning about world literature with you guys. And I hope you have a great finals week, that you crush all of your finals, and that you have a wonderful break coming up after we have finished this class. Thank you all.